DSPN, the Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Rugby this weekend. Super Rugby is back. Blues Chiefs, the marquee match-up on Saturday night. I say that because it's a repeat of last year's final, and Blues breakaway and champion from last year, Anton Segner, joining us. Welcome back, mate.
Cheers, guys. How's it going?
Welcome back to rugby.
Yeah, exactly. Rugby's back, so pretty exciting times.
Are you ready as a team for this match?
Yeah, I think we're definitely not in a bad spot. We had two good preseason games against the Hurricanes and against the Crusaders, which was good to get some game time under the belt before we properly get into it this week. And then, yeah, I mean, we've been bashing each other since the end of November now. So, yeah, the boys are all keen to actually play against some opposition, which isn't ourselves.
In case you haven't been in and around Auckland, people, over the last few months, damn, it's been hot. It's been stinking hot. So, how has that been with all of that training?
Yeah, the sort of sunscreen supply has definitely been used up by all the boys. But no, it's been good. We try to prepare ourselves as much as possible with hydration and whatnot. But yeah, as you say, the sun's pretty aggressive down here, especially compared to Germany. So I need to stay on top of the sunscreen for sure. What
do you get from the preseason games? What do you learn from those games?
You learn quite a bit. It's obviously a good opportunity to get some connections going within the team with some of the new guys coming. You know, we've got some new players like Shay Clark, Peyton Spencer, Xavier Taele, and the list goes on. So those are some good games to get those boys in and give them some time on the field with the rest of the team, because they'll definitely be needed throughout the season. And on top of that, just making connections and really getting the whole squad onto the same page around how we want to play this year.
Are all the All Blacks back yet? I know that they won't be playing straight away, but are they back with you?
Yeah, they're back with us. We had them playing against the Hurricanes last week, and yeah, they're all on board this week as well, so they're all back in.
Because it's a big jostle for those loose forward positions. You've got a lot of guys who've got a lot of experience. You've got Dalton in there, obviously. You've got Hoskins in there. You've got Chody in there.
Yeah, that's right. We got those three, and then we got Cam Suafo as well. And then, as mentioned previously, we got our young Shay Clark, who comes from a sevens background. So he's one hell of an athlete too. But yeah, iron sharpens iron. So we all sort of work off each other and we push each other to become better at the end of the day.
You know, you're a young man. I mean, you were named in that under-20 side years ago. Of course, that was during the COVID years. You've had success. You've won a Mitre 10 title. You've won a Super Rugby title now. I mean, so what next for you?
What next is what we're talking about really, which is this season ahead with the Blues. So yeah, which for me, my own personal goal is again get as much game time as possible for myself, and yeah, try and cement a starting spot with Aki leaving. That obviously leaves a bit of an opportunity there, and yeah, keep everyone else on their toes and perform well.
How have you felt your game has progressed over the last 2 or 3 seasons, especially from Mitre 10 level? What kind of level has it gone up playing Super Rugby?
I think for me personally, obviously the game is a lot faster and a lot more physical versus Mitre 10 compared to Super. And I think for me personally, it's definitely been the physicality aspect. I mean, over this break now, I've put on 3 kilos of good body weight, that is. Well, that's what I like to think anyway. Right. Because, yeah, obviously rugby is a contact sport, and us as the Blues with Vern in charge, we obviously play quite a direct style of play, and that's where you need some bigger bodies. And, that's what I've gone away and worked at over the break. And, yeah, I think these last 2 pre-seasons, they've sort of helped me get used to playing at this weight as well, which is good. So now I'm looking forward to putting it to work during the season.
We've all noticed that style change that Vern Cotter has brought, much more direct, much more confrontational, less of, I suppose, the risk-taking and more getting yourselves in the right positions in the field. Has it been really noticeable, that change for you guys that he's brought?
Yeah, for sure. But us as the players, we how would you say, we really, I think, adopt that style of play because, yeah, as you say, it's very direct, it's very simple. So with some new guys coming in. I mean, before that Crusaders game, I think 2 days before kickoff, because we've been struggling with injuries, we had guys coming in. But since it's quite a simple game plan, it's easy for those guys to sort of pick up around how we want to play. And as a player, you just want clarity in your role. And once you've got that, you can play freely. So a simple game plan, a simple yet effective game plan like that is really a player's dream, I'd say.
What do the All Black players bring when they come back into the side? Because they come a bit later, but they've got, obviously international experience as much as anything else. What do you get from those guys?
Yeah, exactly. The first thing that they bring is definitely experience. So no matter what sort of situation or obstacle we're facing as a team, their experience always helps out. And that experience, I guess, it brings a sense of calmness to the rest of the squad, knowing that, yeah, we've got what it takes, not just because of those guys, but as a team, we've got what it takes to, beat every team when we're on our game, when we're on top of our game. And on top of that, obviously, they've got some freakish talent.
Oh, yeah.
As well, which is pretty exciting to see, even if it's your teammate.
When you talk about that calmness, that's a great word to use, isn't it? Because once you've won it once, how does it change your mentality and the whole squad? Because you know that you are champions, you know you can get to that level now.
Yeah, exactly. So it sort of gives us that confidence knowing that we've done it before, which should sort of mean that there shouldn't be any reason as to why we couldn't do it again. But like I said earlier, when we first came in as a group at the end of November, the first thing we all agreed on is that winning one championship's hard, going back to back is even harder. So yeah, if we just play the same game or if we play at the same level that we did last year, that won't be good enough, because we're well aware that the other teams in the competition are getting a whole lot better. So yeah, we need to start where we left off last year and build on top of that if we want to win this thing.
What do you expect of the Australian sides this year, mate?
I think they'll definitely step up. Obviously, the Wallabies have gotten a lot better, and they've also recruited a few good players individually, those teams. So I think they'll definitely step up a few notches from last year. But yeah, like any other team, we give every team their very well-earned respect. So we expect them to play a very typical Australian style of rugby, which is tough through the forwards and then some skillful fast backs. So yeah, once we sort of face those teams, we'll have a plan in place for that too. But yeah, definitely not underrating them.
Anton, what does Vern say about the fact you've won last year? Does he put that to one side and say, okay, that was last year, this is this year? Do you go out to defend that title, or is his mentality you go out to win again?
Oh no, we definitely have to win again. If we go in with the mindset that we have to defend the title, then yeah, I think we've sort of lost it already, because it's not like because we won the final last year we get to start with 5 points before the game's even started. I mean, everything's back to square one. And yeah, as I said before, our sort of mindset as a team is that, yeah, it was all good and nice winning one, but winning a second is a whole other story. So we're well aware of the challenge that's ahead of us.
You've had success in a lot of it in a few years, haven't you? So what has that taught you about playing the game here in New Zealand, playing rugby, just actually being part of these teams that win?
In what way do you mean? Me personally?
Yeah,
what it's taught me?
Yeah.
I guess just that there's no replacement for hard work. I mean, I see how hard my teammates work, how hard the coaches work to put a performance out on Saturday night. And yeah, I guess if you're part of an environment like that, it becomes pretty infectious. I mean, if you see the whole team sticking around after training for 10, 15 minutes, whether it's the backs doing kicking or the forwards doing their tackling and whatever, it just goes to show that success is no coincidence, really, yeah, and that there's no shortcuts in this game. So yeah, I think that's the main takeaway for me, is that hard work is obviously hard work, but it also pays off if you do it well.
You're doing Nelson College proud, man. I mean, they must love you down there. You still in touch?
Still in touch with a few down there, yeah. Obviously, a few of the Tasman Marco fans weren't happy with my decision to move up to Auckland, but through school and stuff, I've made some lifelong friends down there, which is cool.
And your story is fantastic. I don't know whether we've ever had, a man who's sort of German, background, descent, born in Germany, come here, play as rugby and achieve what you've actually achieved so far. It's just amazing, isn't it? Is your dream even higher on us to be the first German man to ever play for the All Blacks?
Yeah, of course. I think every player that plays in New Zealand, whether he's from here or not, aspires to win a black jersey one day. So, yeah, it's definitely one of my goals. But I also know that there's a whole bunch of other smaller goals that have to be achieved first to reach that honour. So, yeah, that's sort of quite big picture thinking.
Sure.
When we're talking about the black jersey, and there's a few other little achievements that I want to achieve first.
Well, of course, yeah, you've been New Zealand under-20s as well. Do you teach any of your teammates how to speak German? Any words?
Angus Tarvell actually prides himself on knowing a few languages, so he always picks my brains in terms of vocabulary and stuff like that. But yeah, it doesn't come out as fluent just yet. And a few of the other boys, they know a few basics, but all they ever want to learn is the swear words.
Yeah, man, that's all. Yeah, I know. We're boys, that's what we do, mate. I mean, we grow past being 14. Look, it's great talking to you. You know, all the very best for the season. It's exciting, isn't it? I mean, there will be people who say, and it always is, it's come too early and it's cricket season and everything else. But I've been missing this competition. It was a fantastic comp last year, mate.
That's right, I agree. Yeah, no, us as players, we're very much looking forward to it as well.
All the very best for the season. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome, Martin. Thank you.
DSPN.